Alrighty, we are in day 30 of our embryo adoption, and we just got back from the doctor this morning, and you can see Christine's been crying, and for good reason, which she'll tell you about here in a minute. But we went to the doctor to get checked out before we went on our low-carb cruise this coming up week, and he found an ovarian cyst on the left side, the left ovary, which is not supposed to be there, right? What happened, babe?
Well, it wasn't there last time. Normally these cysts appear when a woman is about to begin her cycle.
Right, and why is that different? Why that's not supposed to be happening, right?
Right, it's not supposed to be happening. That means that the Lupron didn't do its job.
The drug you've been taking,
yes.
It's supposed to be suppressing your hormones.
Right.
Wasn't suppressing your estrogen, because we just got the blood test back and they said that your estrogen was too high, right?
Yeah, and it looks like that's because I need a higher dosage of Lupron.
So
basically what we're going to do is I have to stop taking
we're starting all over.
Yeah, I'm quitting the Lupron injections. We have to get a prescription filled for birth control pills again. I start those again
during the cruise.
During the cruise, and then possibly 2 weeks later I'll start back on the Lupron at a higher dosage, and we'll just go back again and see if that's a high enough dosage.
So if everything works out, we're being pushed another 2 weeks, so probably into June now.
Yeah.
With the actual transfer, and it'll be late June, early July before we find out if you're pregnant now.
Yeah.
So originally, right about now, we would be in the midst of the transfer would have already happened, and we'd be in the midst of waiting.
Yeah.
But now we're waiting a little more. Now I know you've been really upset about this, and rightfully so. I mean, it's tough emotionally going through something like this, and people just don't realize, if they've not gone through infertility, just all the emotionalism that's wrapped up in it.
Well, I mean, some people, they can spit out babies just like that.
Ding!
Yeah.
Ding!
And some of those people, aren't fit to be parents. This is the thing that I have a hard time reconciling. They're not fit to be parents. But yet, there are people, we've waited 16 years, and we're having this type of trouble now. We didn't have this problem in our IVF cycle that we know of.
Yeah.
So something's going on, and it's just hard to reconcile that some people can spit out babies and they don't appreciate their kids, and here we are wanting kids, and we're having to deal with this. And some people may say, well, why don't you just do a traditional adoption? Well, I mean, this is adoption. These frozen embryos need a chance at life just like any other child. They need a parent just like any other child, and this is something that we felt led to do.
Well, honey, you hang in there. I know you're really upset, and this has really been hard on you and hard on both of us, quite frankly. I handle my stress in another way, and you handle it in your way, and there is no right or wrong way to respond to this. Nobody can really feel what this is like unless they go through it themselves. And so one thing I tell you often is just keep trusting and knowing that the Lord's timing is perfect.
It is.
And that when this happens, it's going to happen, and it's going to be a beautiful thing. And we really appreciate everybody that's been supportive of us through this process. We'll keep documenting it if you'll keep watching and sharing this experience. And we'll be back again when we start. I say we. When you start.
I'm giving myself the injections.
You are. I think she's about ready for me to have some of those shots, too.
No, but something that a lot of people don't think about, you're going through this, too. You probably more so than I am, because you're having to watch me going through it, and you can't do anything to change anything.
Yeah,
That's hard on you.
It is kind of a helpless feeling, seeing you break down, and nothing breaks me down more than seeing you emotionally break down. And yeah, it's a helpless feeling, but we're trusting in the Lord that this is all in His timing, and that He's got this all worked out. This is not a surprise to God, and I know in His timing that this is all going to be worth it. Yep. Regardless of what happens, we know His will and His glory in all things.
Yep.
See ya.